day, he came home from class. I went over to his house, we went to his room, and he looks at me and goes, "Joe, you're never going to believe what we learned in class today." And I mean, as a 9-year-old kid, I thought that was insane. I thought that was super cool. I don't know how many of you guys remember being 9 years old or know anything about 9-year-old boys, but fighting and sports is just about as high up there as football, monster trucks, and code, right? It was super cool, and I was hooked. So I immediately went to tell my parents I wanted to try out this karate class, and got me signed up. Before I knew it, I was on the mats in a uniform training, and I think they were really just happy that I finally wanted to get involved in some sort of physical exercise. And the great thing about martial arts is that it really, through the character development that's instilled in every lesson, every time you go, it helped really build up my confidence overall, being in front of people and to make it great in front of people. And after a few years, my sensei, as they call it, my instructor, asked me if I wanted to become an assistant and help with other lower ranking younger classes. And being really passionate about martial arts, I hopped on this opportunity just because I saw it as an opportunity to give back and help other kids that had gone through the same path and were facing the same challenges and struggles as I did. And assisting quickly turned into student teaching, which turned into becoming a permanent instructor when I went into high school. And this, going into high school, this is arguably where my confidence and my ability to speak was at its peak. Between 8th grade and high school, or freshman year of high school, I signed up for this summer weightlifting program that my high school was offering, just because I wanted to find a way to meet some new people in my new school, and saw it as a good way to get involved in something and try something new. And I absolutely fell in love with weightlifting. I was absolutely hooked with it. And the thing I liked really a lot about it was that it gave me a very clear linear goal and progression. For those of you that know anything about weightlifting, it's very easy to measure your progress. Can you lift more than last time? Are you lifting more reps than last time? And I like that. And it taught me the value of consistency, and that even just having many imperfect sessions but done consistently is better than having a few perfect sessions done every once in a blue moon. And this led me to joining the football team at my school. And all of these things have taught me the same lesson up to this point. Confidence isn't built overnight. It's built through consistency and showing up even when you don't always feel like it. However, one of my biggest challenges was just around the corner, and I truly wasn't prepared for it. Going from high school into college was a massive change, and this is where my confidence began to crack. And the anxiety that I had growing up as a kid, it came back with a vengeance. I mean, it was absolutely egregious, and it turned into panic. And this lasted for several years, and it was largely stemmed from the fact that I really didn't know where I was going in life. I didn't have a lot of direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And this uncertainty put a lot of pressure on me. And after being fed up with this, I remembered this story that my high school business teacher told me about this group that he knows about called Toastmasters. And I remember thinking to myself as a high school kid, I don't really plan on hosting any cocktail parties anytime soon. Like, I'm not sure if this is really for me. But I knew that if he was bringing it up in a business class, there had to be more to it than just cocktail parties and toasts. And so I looked into it a little bit more. And I knew that as far as all my challenges that I'd faced in my life up to this point, I had never solved any single one of them simply by avoiding it. I had all the challenges that I only solved by facing it head on. And I thought that this is really no different. So I had to approach it the same way as I did any other challenge. And now that brings me here in front of all of you today, voluntarily giving a speech that makes me pretty anxious. And if you told the younger version of me that I would be up in front of a group of people that I don't know too well yet, and I'd be speaking in front of them, I definitely would not have believed you. But when I look back at the path that brought me here, I realized that every meaningful step forward in my life started with doing something that made me uncomfortable. Martial arts, weightlifting, football, teaching, and now Toastmasters all began the same way, with a challenge that I really didn't feel ready for. And I'm not sure really where my life is going next after this, but I know that growth never comes from staying comfortable. And that if I've learned anything from my experiences, it's that the things that scare us the most are oftentimes the things that we need to do the most. Thank you. Thank you.